Hello, this is Clara, but you can call me Mother, and welcome to Studio Yutani. Today with me, I have my replacement host, Matt Jarjosa. Matt, would you like
Uh,
to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Matt Jarjosa. As Mother here has just said, I am some guy from Michigan.
We used to chat heaps on alien groups, and kind of like seeing each other in passing, but not really got to know each other like on a deep level, have we?
No, we've always kind of been internet buddies. But it was through kind of the alien groups that we met, and then we got to know each other a little more, and then we became Facebook
Yeah,
friends.
and thank goodness for that. Like, I think we've all generated like a lot of friends and a lot of like newfound fan groups and like niche interests, even within the fandom.
Mhm.
I've followed or started following a lot of people who do practical effects and stuff like that, even as fans and recreating things from the film, and it's really exciting to kind of see people's creative processes in making something that they've seen on screen and perhaps not had the direct knowledge of how they created it and kind of finding their own way of making it themselves. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite interesting. So today's like chat is going to be kind of like a catch up between me and Matt. Also, a bit of an update about what's going on in the Alien universe. Now, the most recent news that's come to drop is about the Alien 3 scripts, which I had heard rumblings about not so long ago. And uh, like it, all the fandom was under the impression that this was going to be just like the comic book William Gibson script, which was done by Dark Horse as kind of like their last publication, along with like the unmade Alien script. And we've been nicely surprised to see that uh, Titan are actually going to go for the first iteration of the scripts. They've gotten in touch with William Gibson and gotten another version of the script. So it's going to be a bit different from what we see in the comic, which will be nice.
Oh,
What do
really?
you think about that, Matt?
I mean, I heard that they were doing, they were kind of going through some of the earlier scripts of Alien 3 and, doing a comic book version. I didn't know they were doing like the very first one that William Gibson did. I'm not sure if that's the one with the communists in the mall world. Is
Socialists.
socialist. There is a difference.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I'm not sure if that's the one or if it's one of the various other scripts for that movie. But I think
Yeah.
that's the Gibson one, right?
I think it's actually one that hasn't seen the light of day yet. There is one which
Oh,
is a revised script, which is available on the Alien versus Predator Galaxy website, which I'm more than happy to uh, record a show with you in regards to that script and how it's different from Alien 3.
gonna say, yeah, it's Alien 3 is a fascinating and bizarre production history. Just trying to find the right story is that story.
Yeah. And on that note, we've been witnessing something. It's kind of like, to me, it's alien blasphemy and filmmaker
Yeah,
blasphemy. But
but
in some cases, it might be therapeutic or in entertaining for people who aren't major fans of Alien 3. There is a screenwriter on Twitter who's taken it into his own hands to create a documentary about the making of Alien 3. Now, before you get excited about it, I use the term loosely. He's not a big fan of Fincher and he's not a big fan of Alien 3, and he's it's kind of a bit of a piss take. So if you I don't know whether that's just a, colloquially Australian term.
yeah. So Clara brought this to my attention initially when it was announced, and I was very intrigued by it. And then the screenwriter shared a few snippets of his script, and it kind of feels like it's not a genuine look at the mindset of people that were on that movie. It kind of feels like sophomore college, like, oh, I'm gonna write a David Fincher spoof comedy film and take pot shots at James Cameron. And I'm like, I feel like that whole story with Alien 3 is riddled with tragedy. I'm not opposed to something a little bit more comedic. It just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's the right tone. I guess is the way of putting
Yeah. You know what?
it.
Alien 3 is not my most favorite Alien for the simple fact,
No.
like, a lot of the themes that were introduced in the film, like, I actually don't even give a shit about Newton Hicks dying or the way they died. That doesn't
I,
bother me whatsoever. But the way that Ripley is portrayed, and the way that the prisoners seem very, they're not likable, and I know they're supposed to be that way, but it's hard. Like, when I watched it, I was like a teenager. So having a teenage girl watching that film, and then kind of like trying to digest the sort of idea of what alien films were, which was Alien and Aliens. It
Mhm.
was very confronting, but then again, I like Alien Resurrection, so maybe you should just ignore my opinion entirely.
I mean, I don't hate Alien Resurrection. I don't think it's a great movie, but Alien 3 is somewhat of a misfire. I kind of look at it, if we're talking about Resurrection, I see Alien 3 as kind of a failed art movie, whereas Resurrection is successful schlock. So which is better? I think Alien 3 is much more interesting, but it's also kind of a mess. I do admire some of the dark themes in it. Newton Hicks dying, it does feel kind of like a little bit of a gut punch and not necessarily in the right way. But once you get past that, and you kind of look at it as a story about Ripley's, end. I might be going on a little bit too long, but the idea that it's like no matter what she does, she can't get away from this thing, and I think the ending of the film is really beautiful, and that she kind of takes it all into her own hands.
I think growing up now, and seeing it as an adult, I do have a better appreciation for the film, and also like it's production hell that it went through. Um, People can be as critical as they want of Fincher, but I think he's a great director, and it's a pity
Oh,
that he had such a shitty experience with Alien 3.
oh, I love David Fincher. I used to think that his I'm sure he is filled with a lot of bitterness on Alien 3, but I read something recently with who's the name of the guy who did the documentary, Charles
Charles de la Rosrica.
yeah. He was talking about recently trying to get a hold of Fincher, and it just, from his experience, it seemed to me like Fincher's just really saddened. It just broke his heart, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
you
if it
feel
was his
like,
one shot at the alien universe and it was something that he really, really loved and
yeah,
appreciated, it's really
and it,
shit, especially with the ongoing uh, chorus from people like James Cameron and Ridley Scott saying that they've never watched the film because they thought it was crap.
ooh, yeah, I mean, that's very hurtful to hear that from your heroes.
Yeah, that's like big mega size oof.
Yeah, but he recovered from it. He's a very successful director, a very talented director. He's one of my favorite
Yeah,
directors.
I love his like showrun on Netflix, Love, Death and Robots. That was amazing. I thought
You, you
was
know,
very
you
entertaining.
know, I actually have not watched that. I
What?
think, yeah, I know, I know. I'm a very, very terrible, terrible science fiction fan.
We're gonna have
I
to
am David.
correct that.
Yeah, I have a to watch list. I'll throw that on there.
Yeah,
Uh, I did watch Mank on Netflix, and Mank was excellent.
I actually have not watched that yet.
It's pretty good. I actually, going back to that fan script for Alien 3, that's kind of what I was getting from it. It's like David Fincher directing the writing of Citizen Kane. I thought, oh, so he's gonna do like a biopic of David Fincher making Alien 3. Yeah, connecting the dots.
On the topic of Netflix, there is actually going to be a new sci-fi series coming out, which I really do want to cover. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's so bad that I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look this up right now because, like, I'm good like that. So organized.
we'll edit this part out.
Or keep it in just for the lols. Um, there is a new sci-fi series called Space Sweepers coming to Netflix. Um, basically, it'll be launching worldwide on February 5th. So that's like a couple of days before my birthday. So I'm really, really excited about that. Uh,
Okay.
it's got pretty good special effects, and it's got this very sort of like, I feel like it has like a sort of sci-fi diesel punk sort of look. It's
Hmm.
gritty, it's funny. There's a robot character in it, which I
Oh,
like.
well,
It's got a really decent amount of comedy, and I think the characters really play off each other well. And despite it being in a different language, I think a lot of people will find it enjoyable to watch.
비켜라, 이 무능한 것들아. 저건 내 거다.
You're seriously going to take everything? Victory son of a bitch!
이거 앞에서 만민이 평등하지.
맨날 위험한 거왜 나야?
Projected profit loss $7,300.
이모 같은 소리 하고 있네. 우리 개판이야. 자, 오늘도 한번 벌어볼까?
The innocent face masks a deadly weapon. The robot is highly lethal, extremely dangerous.
돈이 되는 꼬마란 말이야.
그 폭탄을 되팔아보겠다. 안 돼. 정의롭지가 못해.
뭔 개소리야? 입 좀 다물어.
난 입 벌린 적이 없는데.
I've actually spoke to and talked to uh Ben from Turn Sounds podcast, and he's done the Just Keep Walking podcast for uh, the Walking Dead, and basically we're going to be reviewing episodes of the Alien TV series as it comes out for Australian viewers, but I'll be happy to team up with Matt and talk about it for the American viewers as well. But the thing is, there might be some sort of delay for us here.
yeah.
So you might get it even before me. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. But maybe we can get someone from Utani who's based in the US who could do shows with you about that.
It depends if it's going live simultaneously everywhere or not, basically.
Mm,
But well, yeah, we'll figure that out.
yeah. So that's pretty cool. All
All
right.
right.
So I'm super excited about having a look at what the video editors of Utani kind of come up with for Alien Day for the people who've watched our 14-hour show, which is like very, very, very big for us. Chris and Paul kind of like semi teamed up. Paul did a cover of some Alien music on his guitar, recorded it. We gave the recording to Chris and a number of other editors, but other editors weren't able to get this stuff together in time. But Chris, who was very well known for the Chaos editions of Prometheus and Covenant, uh, put together a mix, and I was very proud of what he did. It was just, it makes me cry, like literally every time I watch it. It's amazing to see like someone's creation, and I really love to encourage that sort of thing with Utani. So I'm excited to see what our editors can develop for us, and even if we don't, I'll make something up. But my editing skills are like really bad. Like
I,
PowerPoint presentation, really bad cuts, star wipe, that sort of stuff.
oh no, not Star Wipe. In film school, one of the things they taught us is, don't use the star wipe. And then there was that one kid. It's like, oh yeah, you're not gonna tell me what to do. And we're watching this film like, oh, you did that, didn't you? You color corrected to yellow, green. You did everything because you thought that you were making a point.
It's very cute. I kind of like the one where it kind of like zooms in and then tumbles. Really, really bad stuff. Um,
I love it. It was it was made in Windows Movie Maker, the greatest editor ever.
it's amazing though, the sort of things like technology wise, what people are capable of, especially now on an iPad. Like my daughter, she's been making stop motion videos with her Legos, and
Oh, nice.
just on holiday camp, they've been teaching them how to do like post production editing and adding in special effects like fire and levitation and crazy stuff like that for kids. Like these kids are like what, 7 years old?
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm 30 and I'm just now learning how to do CGI animation. So, so that, that's nuts.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're gonna be way ahead of us, in the future. The next generation, hopefully, next generation of filmmakers.
quote like Star Wars: The Last Jedi and say, they are what we grow beyond. That's the fuck, what is it? I just had it.
We are what they grow beyond. That is the true burden of all masters.
On the topic of Disney, I am not impressed with the amount of stuff that they're coming out with now, which is obviously traced and not altogether edited correctly. When it comes to the comics, it's like blatant plagiarism, and I don't know, like it seems like a complete disrespect to the um, longtime fans who have kind of followed Alien from Dark Horse,
To be perfectly honest, I'm not too familiar with like the comics world very much. That's something I'm gonna have to get into now. But I'm afraid I don't have too much to say on that regard.
That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
okay. Like I kind of only really started following the comics since they released Fire and Stone, which was around the time of Prometheus.
yeah.
Anything before that, I've read things here and there, um, because people have talked about certain series saying that they're really good. So when
Yeah, until I was asked to check out the Cold Forge, my Alien stuff has basically been limited to the movies and Alien Isolation.
that's a good thing though. Like
Yeah,
if you take into consideration filmic canon, the movies plus Alien Isolation pretty much is the current canon timeline. There is
yeah.
the extended universe timeline, which takes into account a lot of the comics, and they've kind of like been like ham-fisted into like a greater canon. But really, people from the different sections weren't actually having a serious talk with each other in regards to canon. The outline is basically don't touch this timeline, don't touch these characters, make up something, and don't ruin film canon. And that was kind of like the guideline that everyone followed, and it was working for a while, until the Disney buyout. So like you're not really missing much. From what I hear, the comic canon is not going to be going continuously with film, game, or book canon. So the films, games, and books are now the continuing plan, and their own canon currently until that gets redone with
Hmm.
maybe the TV show. So, like
Yeah,
Meh.
that's interesting. I guess we'll see how that goes. It sounds a little bit like kind of like what they did with Star Wars, and it was like I'm not hugely into Star Wars, but I know that like they basically excised a huge chunk of the novels, from the canon and
Yeah.
made them legends or something. So
It's whatever makes it easier for the creators to do something without being beholden to something else. I think that's what it is at the end of the day.
and that makes sense to me, honestly, as a filmmaker myself. It's really kind of like what I said. Alien, the movies and Alien Isolation are what I mostly paid attention to, because that's pretty much the main storyline right there. That's the meat of the whole thing. But yeah, so whatever makes it easier to make those movies and make more of them, that's the priority.
Yeah,
I get that.
definitely. Um, yeah, so I think that's pretty much it in regards to like our catch up
Okay.
and current news. There's been a lot going on, but at the same time, not much to report on.
Sure. I'll be changing soon, I imagine. We
Yeah,
got some stuff. I got the show we talked about. Then there's the Cold Iron game and Into Charybdis, and there's some stuff coming out.
yeah. There's probably a lot of announcements due out around March, April, anyway, which is usually how the way things go in um, Alien news
Yeah.
so far. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird not knowing what to expect. Like, I know some stuff that's happening behind the scenes, but at the same time, as a fan, like
Hmm.
there's not as much solidity as we had, say, around the 40th anniversary. Like, I felt like
Right.
they were kind of like bursting with news and potential in around then.
Yeah.
And they had a like really strong marketing campaign to kind of like follow up the comics, the books, and the games, or the assumed game that was coming out, which ended up being Alien Blackout. Um,
Which is the only mobile game that I would recommend to anybody who has a passing interest in mobile gaming.
I think it's
Um,
going to Switch as well. That's what I've
oh,
heard.
is it really?
Yeah, they said that it
That
was a possibility. It's going to be getting some sort of game adaptation.
that that would be rad. I honestly was impressed with that. Yeah, because it was like when you first hear it, it's like it's a mobile game, really, and it's actually a really really polished, really well done mobile game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
On the topic of mobile games, and everyone knows that the Alien game is kind of based around Five Nights at Freddy's. There is a
Yes.
funny movie coming out starring Nicolas Cage, which is kind of based on the premise of Five Nights at Freddy's as well. So this is kind of like out of the loop, but it's kind of connected. So if you guys are watching it, oh, what is it called? Um,
Yeah, I actually think I
something.
might have.
I'm gonna Google this again because I'm
Well,
so great at this. Willy Wonderland.
Really, Wonderland.
Yeah,
I want to check this out because my editing professor posted something about this.
and it
Uh,
looks so funny. Like that, they've done the whole line as like, he is not trapped in there with them. Uh,
oh, okay.
they're trapped in there with him.
Okay. I actually was going to see this because my editing professor apparently he did something post production on that, so
Oh,
I was
really?
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah,
I think it's gonna be hilarious. I love that sort of horror slash
yeah.
comedy.
It's
So
just kind of it's just really super twisted.
yeah, for sure. All right. I guess this is going to be the sign off because, like, we're done talking about our stuff. This is going to be a
Um,
quick catch up, and there is ongoing construction going on in the background, so you won't be able to hear much of me apart from the brrr going on.
Well, it sounds fine on my end, but once we get it into the editing software, we'll see what kind of challenge we have to deal with.
That's fair enough. Okay, so for the sign off, did you want to do a practice?
Yeah, I'll just keep it really simple. It'll be like this is Matt Jarjosa, the last survivor of the Studio Utani podcast, and I'm signing off.
This is Muthur9000 of the Studio Utani podcast, signing off on the US CSS Nostromo.